want to be the captain? I'm going to make you drive the boat.
Yeah?
Without you. I'm leaving without you.
They say the swamp can survive anything, floods, storms, even fire. But what happens when the storm isn't in the swamp? It's in your own home? Pickle Wheat was on top of the world, a breakout star on Swamp People, loved for her grit, her charm, and her no-nonsense attitude. But behind that fearless smile, something was collapsing. A divorce that few fans even knew about started to ripple through her life, threatening not just her peace, but her entire career. Because when your fame depends on being unshakable, even a private breakup can turn into public destruction. The headlines never said it directly, the show never mentioned it. But quietly, Pickle Wheat's life was coming apart and it nearly cost her everything she'd built. This is the truth behind the divorce that nearly ended Pickle Wheat's career and why it changed the way fans saw her forever. Before the cameras, before the fame, Pickle Wheat was just Cheyenne Wheat, a Louisiana native who grew up wrestling gators before she ever held a spotlight. She didn't come from Hollywood. She came from the swamp, the kind of place that teaches you hard work before you even understand the word career. Every cut, every scar, every lesson came from real life. And that's what made people fall in love with her. She wasn't acting tough, she was tough. Her family had been hunting alligators for generations. Her father, Eddie Wheat, taught her how to survive in the wild, how to respect it, and how to fight when it fights back. That upbringing became her greatest weapon when she stepped into the world of reality TV. Because when Swamp People came calling, Pickle wasn't trying to be a celebrity, she was just doing what she'd always done. But this time, the whole country was watching. It didn't take long for viewers to notice. She wasn't polished or rehearsed, she was raw, genuine, and brutally real. In an era where reality TV often feels fake, Pickle stood out for being the opposite. Her laughter felt real, her drive was real, and her connection to the audience grew overnight. Suddenly, the girl from the swamp wasn't just another cast member, she was the reason people tuned in every week. And yet, that kind of success comes with pressure. When a show builds its brand around you, you're no longer just a person, you're a symbol. Fans start expecting perfection. Networks start expecting numbers. And the truth is, nobody teaches you how to stay grounded when your everyday life turns into national entertainment. Behind the camera, Pickle was still Cheyenne, the daughter, the friend, the woman trying to balance fame with normal life. But inside that balance was a growing tension, the kind that even the strongest personalities can't hold forever. Because fame doesn't just change how the world sees you, it changes how the people around you treat you. And for Pickle, that pressure was about to bleed into the one place she thought was safe, her personal life. Success looks glamorous until you realize how heavy it feels. For Pickle Wheat, fame didn't just mean fans, it meant constant eyes on every part of her life. What started as admiration quickly turned into obsession. People wanted to know where she lived, who she loved, and what she did when the cameras stopped rolling. And when you live in a small Louisiana town, there's no hiding from curiosity. The same fans who cheered her on during Gator season started dissecting her personal posts, her captions, even her silence. Her relationship with Chase Landry had once been the talk of Swamp People, fans 2 hunters, same show, same fire. It looked perfect from the outside. But perfection in the public eye rarely survives the weight of reality. By 2021, their quiet breakup was followed by endless online theories. No drama was confirmed, but the whispers didn't stop. For Pickle, that was her first taste of how ruthless reality TV fame could be. You don't just live your life, you perform it, and every personal decision becomes public property. Then came a new chapter, Joshua Kipps. Away from the spotlight, Pickle seemed genuinely happy again. They built a life that felt normal, something rare for a reality TV star. And in 2023, when she welcomed her baby daughter, fans celebrated it as a sign of peace after chaos. But balancing motherhood, a public image, and a high-pressure career isn't easy. The more her fame grew, the harder it became to control the story being told about her. Every photo was analyzed. Every absence from social media was questioned. And when small changes appeared, a missing ring, a deleted post, fans started connecting dots that weren't meant to be public at all. Behind the smiles and Instagram posts, Pickle was fighting to protect her privacy while holding on to her career. The producers wanted consistency. The audience wanted access. And life, as it always does, wanted balance. She couldn't give all three at once. The strain started showing not in her performance, but in her silence. When you're living two lives, one for the camera and one for yourself, something eventually breaks. And what broke next would send shockwaves through her fan base, sparking rumors that no one saw coming. No one expected it, not from Pickle Wheat, not from someone who built her entire image on strength and loyalty. But that's exactly why the news hit harder than anyone could imagine. When whispers of a possible divorce began surfacing online, fans didn't believe it at first. Pickle wasn't the kind of person to make drama public. She was private, quiet, and grounded. But then, subtle signs started showing up, where the internet always notices first on social media. Photos disappeared, mentions faded. Her posts, once full of warmth and family life, became rare and distant. The first real jolt came from a small Facebook group that claimed Pickle had confirmed she was no longer married. It wasn't a press statement, not a media leak, just a few words buried in a fan discussion thread. But in the world of reality TV, that's all it takes. One screenshot turns into a headline, one rumor becomes a theory, and overnight, the internet decided Pickle Wheat's marriage had ended. The timing couldn't have been worse. Her show was still running, her fan base was still growing, and suddenly her personal life became a public mystery. Some fans defended her, calling it nobody's business. Others demanded answers. It's a brutal reality of fame. The same audience that loves you can also dissect you. And the moment Pickle didn't explain herself, people started writing their own versions of the story. For someone as reserved as Pickle, that kind of exposure can be devastating. She wasn't built for public chaos, she was built for hard work, routine, and peace. But peace is impossible when every silence becomes a rumor. What made things worse was the way the media handled it quietly, carefully, almost pretending it wasn't happening. No official statement, no response from producers, just speculation floating in the dark, and that silence made everything feel more real. Inside the fan community, people started asking tougher questions. Did the breakup affect filming? Would she stay on Swamp People? Was she even okay? And while no one had clear answers, one thing was undeniable: something had changed. The confident, fiery Pickle that people saw on TV was now shadowed by uncertainty. That's when the spotlight stopped being her ally and turned into her biggest threat. Because in television, when your personal life becomes the story, your career is never safe. And for Pickle Wheat, that storm was only just beginning. In television, silence can be louder than words. When Pickle Wheat stopped posting regularly and avoided public comments about her personal life, the speculation took control. Fans started asking why she wasn't appearing as often on Swamp People. Some noticed she looked different, quieter, less playful, more withdrawn. That shift sparked a wave of theories, and suddenly, what began as a personal matter was now shaping her entire career narrative. For a star like Pickle, image is everything. The producers rely on her presence to keep fans invested, and brands watch closely for consistency. A divorce, especially one whispered about but never confirmed, can disrupt all of that. It changes how networks market you, how viewers relate to you, and how sponsors see your storyline. Reality TV isn't just entertainment, it's business. And in that business, personal turmoil can be costly. Behind the scenes, people close to the production reportedly noticed the pressure. Pickle wasn't falling apart, but she was pulling back. The woman who once carried the show's emotional energy was now protecting herself. That decision made sense personally, but professionally, it carried risks. Fewer public appearances mean fewer interviews. Fewer interviews mean less visibility. And for someone still cementing her place in a hit franchise, that kind of silence can be misinterpreted as disinterest. Fans began worrying that she might leave the show altogether. Some even speculated that her relationship struggles made filming uncomfortable, especially with crew members who had become like family. Whether those rumors were true or not didn't matter, they spread fast enough to affect perception. And in television, perception is everything. The hardest part? Pickle couldn't defend herself without making things worse. Addressing it would feed the headlines, ignoring it fueled the rumors. It was a no-win situation. Each move was judged, each word twisted, and each appearance analyzed. A simple absence became proof. A smile in a photo became damage control. This is the side of reality TV most people never see, the part where personal pain becomes professional currency. When fans crave authenticity, stars like Pickle have to decide how much of their real life to give away just to survive the public eye. And for her, that decision came at a time when everything, her family, her future, her career, was on the line. But just when the noise seemed too loud to escape, something else happened, a reaction from her audience that no one predicted. When the news broke, the internet did what it always does, it divided. Some fans rushed to defend Pickle, saying she deserved privacy. Others treated her life like an open book, picking apart every post in silence, searching for clues. What shocked most people wasn't the divorce itself, it was how quickly opinions turned personal. The same viewers who once praised her strength were now questioning her loyalty, her attitude, even her career choices. Mainstream outlets stayed quiet, but fan pages and Reddit threads exploded with speculation. People compared timelines, analyzed old photos, and turned a private breakup into public entertainment. But what none of them saw was the toll it took on her. The show's producers avoided comment, and Pickle said nothing, which only made people hungrier for answers. And that's when it hit her hardest, the realization that fame doesn't pause for heartbreak. No matter what she was going through, the world kept watching. And the silence that once protected her started to feel like a cage. But even in that chaos, something unexpected was about to happen, a shift that would completely change how people saw Pickle Wheat. Behind the fame, Pickle Wheat was quietly breaking. The cameras only show strength, they never show exhaustion. And when your brand depends on being fearless, you don't get to show weakness. But even the toughest people have limits. The pressure of public scrutiny, online rumors, and personal heartbreak started to chip away at her peace. She wasn't just fighting to save her career, she was fighting to stay herself. Friends close to her noticed the change first. The once open, easygoing Pickle became guarded. Her posts felt measured, her interactions shorter. It wasn't arrogance, it was protection. Every word could be twisted, every emotion could be used as proof of something she never said. That kind of constant defense drains you in ways that fans rarely understand. And while everyone speculated about her love life, few noticed the emotional cost of being judged for simply existing. Depression, stress, and sleepless nights become normal when the internet feels like a courtroom. For Pickle, the swamp had always been an escape, a place where life made sense. But now, even that felt complicated. Still, despite the silence and the heartbreak, she refused to quit. Because deep down, she knew something the headlines didn't. The pain might have slowed her down, but it didn't define her. And the next step she took would prove that resilience runs deeper than rumor. When most people would have disappeared completely, Pickle Wheat did the opposite. She got back up. Her social media, once quiet and cautious, started showing signs of life again. Not loud, not flashy, just real. Photos of her daughter, simple family moments, and the familiar Louisiana backdrop reminded fans that she hadn't given up. It wasn't a press tour or a PR stunt. It was recovery one small post at a time. Her return to Swamp People proved something important. Even after everything, she was still standing. No drama, no statements, just the same woman doing what she's always done. And fans noticed. Comments shifted from questions to encouragement. "You got this, Pickle. Glad to see you back." The same audience that once doubted her started rooting for her again. It wasn't about reclaiming fame, it was about regaining control. She stopped letting the internet write her story and started writing it herself. Between filming, motherhood, and the quiet work of rebuilding her peace, Pickle reminded everyone what made her different from the start: resilience. And though she never confirmed the details behind the divorce, her actions said enough. She didn't need headlines to prove strength, she lived it. But her comeback wasn't the end of the story, it was the beginning of a much harder question. Could she rebuild her name without losing herself again? Right now, Pickle Wheat isn't where she was 2 years ago, but maybe that's the point. Her Instagram shows fewer hunting highlights and more family life. A post on the 3rd of November 2025 features her reflecting quietly on life while standing outdoors. She isn't gone from the public view, but she is choosing what to show. That subtle shift matters. She and Joshua Kippis, whose relationship made headlines, reportedly welcomed their second child. According to a May 2025 update, she bounced back after pregnancy and has refocused on family. Meanwhile, she still appears listed as part of the cast for Swamp People on the official network site, though she's had less screen time lately. So what does that mean for her brand and career? First, she seems to be taking control. Instead of chasing every hunting highlight for viral traction, she's sharing simpler moments. Kids, home base, normal life. That's a powerful repositioning. Second, her public silence around personal issues isn't an absence, it's a choice. She's still relevant, but on different terms. That said, major questions remain unanswered. Will she return full force to Swamp People's spotlight? Is she building a new brand outside hunting, maybe motherhood-focused? With little official word, fans are left guessing, and that curiosity only fuels her relevance. In fact, sometimes the best comeback isn't a splashy return, it's the quiet rebuild. One thing is clear, Pickle Wheat hasn't disappeared. She's recalibrated, and in an industry built on spectacle, that kind of control might be her strongest move yet. When Pickle Wheat stepped onto the swamp hunting scene, one of her anchors was Troy Landry, a veteran cast member of Swamp People. Their connection wasn't romantic. In fact, she refers to him as like a second dad and said his mentorship helped her skills mature. But that relationship also highlights a deeper truth of reality TV fame. Your personal and professional worlds blur fast. When your mentor is also your co-star and your brand is built on authenticity, the audience expects continuity. They expect you to be loyal, tough, consistent. Pickle's strong tie to Troy created high expectations, so when her personal life shifted, the contrast was even sharper. In this industry, it's not enough to just succeed, you must fit the narrative. A star with a respected mentor like Troy had to maintain that family, tradition, grit image. Any deviation risks confusing fans. That's why when the whispers about Pickle's divorce surfaced, it rattled more than just her private life, it shook the story the show had been telling. The lesson? Reality stars operate in two worlds, their real life and the brand life. Pickle's relationship with Troy underscores how the brand life can be double-edged. His presence helped boost her credibility, but also raised the cost of change. When reality shifts, so does perception. And in a broader industry context, Pickle's story reflects what many newer reality personalities face. Building your brand on a foundation, like tradition or mentorship, gives you power, but it also locks you into expectations. Change becomes risk. Silence becomes speculation. And the comeback becomes as much about navigating narrative as it is about personal survival. In the end, the strongest comeback may not be a return to the old story, it might be redefining it on your own terms. For Pickle, the mentorship of Troy Landry gave her the roots. Her challenge now is how she grows beyond it. The swamp teaches one thing: you can't control the current, but you can keep moving. Like this video if you believe in second chances, share it with someone who needs one, and subscribe for more untold journeys.